It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Geddes Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoe Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2022 Thanksgiving edition of The Local Show. I'm your host, Tom Soccocio Jr., along with my friend and co-host, Steve Roberts. On The Local Show, we have conversations about local business with business owners, CEOs, CFOs, entrepreneurs, civic organizations, nonprofits, business advocates, and other business-friendly organizations. We talk about how they got into business and why they do business right here in Syracuse, New York, and where their businesses might be going in the future. Now you'll hear all about their successes, their challenges, opportunities, marketing, and advertising. We're broadcasting from the Zoe Advertising Studio, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. Welcome in, Steve Roberts. How are you there, buddy?
Tryptophan, Tom.
Yeah, you're all tryptophaned out.
Tryptophan, Tom. Tryptophan.
I think you had to look the word up.
I did. There's no question. And everyone knows I couldn't spell it.
Yeah.
But that's okay. It's all good. You know, paying $65 a pound for turkey is a great thing. Judy bought a turkey. She bought another one. We do Mom's house and everything now, and there's less people. But she bought a little turkey, which is in the freezer, and I'm going to probably cook it up this weekend.
Very good.
And because if you don't overcook it, turkey's amazing. If you overcook it, it's like eating a tissue box.
Yeah.
You know?
Some people like leftover turkey. I'm not a big leftover turkey fan. Isn't that something? I like it when it's hot and I can put some gravy on it and all that, but I don't let past that.
The whole thing when someone goes, pass the gravy, please. You know it was a little dry, so get a little more gravy. But it's a good thing. Are you a cranberry guy?
No, I'm not a cranberry person.
Stuffing?
Stuffing I like, but I don't eat a lot of it. I try to stick with a lot of the vegetables. Actually, somebody had taught me try and eat as many vegetable items as you can first, then the proteins, and then stop.
That person died of heart failure, but that's okay. They're not around.
gotta eat all the vegetables.
No, I was at my doctor this week, and they had the vegetable conversation.
Yes, to eat more, right?
To eat more vegetables, and which I do. I eat too much red meat, right? But I like fish and I like chicken, but I really don't. I no longer always have to have a potato or a rice.
That's the stuff that
and that's so
be bad for you.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've kind of, and she says, just eat more vegetables. And I do. There's not I like 95% of the vegetables.
And I like to be temperate and even. In other words, not to overeat.
In food, not in life.
Not in life. No. Hey, we've got a great show for you, folks. Stick around on this Local Show. We're going to talk with Joe Scripa. He's the owner of the Scripa Group. And then Nicole McQuaid will stop by. She's the HR manager over there at Clinton's Ditch. Jeff Zarnowski is the orchardist at Z's Nutty Ridge Farms. And then John Kupperman will talk to us about housewares and all those restaurant supplies because he owns Smith's. Then Jim Green, otherwise known as Charles Dickens, will talk to us. He's doing that Dickens of a Christmas up there in Skinny Atlas. Kevin Frank, director of Brady Market and Brady Faith Center, will stop by. David Lewis, owner of Interstate Batteries of Central New York, will talk with him. And then Michael Johnson is the owner of Pro Snow Removal, and you can catch him at goprosnow.com. He'll be rounding us out today. Right now, we say hello to Joe Scripa. How are you there, Joe?
Great, Tom. Yourself?
Very good, my friend. Old neighbor of mine.
Joe's resting face doesn't smile, Tom. his resting face looks like he's angry at everybody.
And I got to be honest with you. I don't think I've ever smiled so much sitting next to you because,
it's like sitting next to
you.
It's like being in kindergarten again, isn't it?
And my rested face can't take all this. I'm going to be sore later.
Yeah, Joe's got the perfect Italian mob face. Where
it's true. That's my point.
You don't have to say anything. You can just sit. My grandfather had that.
He's got a 5 o'clock shadow. He shaved twice today already.
I was afraid of my grandfather when he didn't even speak. Had to be way. But anyway, he's a very congenial person, and you've been in the real estate business for a long time, haven't you?
Quite a long time, nearing 25 years.
Very nice.
Yes.
Tell us about your company a little bit. What do you specialize in? What do you do?
We specialize in commercial real estate brokerage and property management. We do also do residential sales, but my primary is commercial brokerage, leasing, and management.
Yeah, Joe's got those big signs. You ever see, that's how I knew Joe before I met him.
Right.
I was like, it's Scripa.
I saw the huge, when I met him, he appeared really tiny compared to the signs that he had.
Well, and I'll tell you what, I'm really excited about the next big sign we put up. It's going to be at 6800 East Genesee Street, which is directly across from the Wegmans in DeWitt.
Yeah.
Is that place crowded over there? They have a lot of traffic over there?
Place,
Well, about 50,000 cars a day, but I think all 50,000 of them were in Wegmans parking lot yesterday.
Oh my!
As I stood up in the building, looking across the street.
That's true. The whole if you're old like Tom, that's the Track and Racket Club.
The
from
old Track
way
and
back in
Racket
the
Club.
day.
That's right. Today it houses a few tenants: Coldwell Banker, real estate, residential real estate, Revitalized CNY, Dr. I think Shinta, and we're right now. We had the meeting on Monday, officially took over the property and the marketing of the property, and by Tuesday, we were already engaged with 3 potential tenants. I mean, it is.
So who should be in that building? So it's how big's the building?
It's 40,000 square feet.
It's a big building. So how many
square feet.
pieces do you put that into and still have parking and all those things that people are concerned about?
We've got generous parking for at least 150 cars, maybe a little bit more.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize the parking
lot
lot was that
actually
big.
expand the parking a little bit. It'll undergo a full redevelopment interior. The new ownership is Southern Hills Management, and they're quite an eclectic group. It's multi-generation, from senior guys that have been in real estate development their whole life to accountants and bankers are the development.
So why did they have all these miles? Why you? I mean, they could have signed that thing with anybody in the world, right?
Well, because I'll get it filled.
Okay, so that's your job. I was just going to ask what your function was, because it sounds like they know how to renovate and do all that
that's
stuff.
where I was going.
Well, they do know how to renovate, but there's a difference when it comes to both filling, bringing in the right income, attracting the right tenants. So you asked who's the tenant? Legal.
Right.
We've got actually a few different legal organizations, not all from Syracuse either, looking at it already. Mm-hmm. Medical, any type of medical use would be great in there. There's a whole floor, 20,000 square feet, second story, wide open, will eventually be full of windows when the renovation happens. It'll be full of windows facing Wegmans.
Sure. Yeah.
And right at the traffic signal. So people
my goodness.
sitting right at the light looking at you.
Is there a better piece of property on the east side of town?
I don't think so.
I'm just thinking because
honestly, I don't think
Everybody
so.
knows Wegmans.
Why did it go through so many tenants, do you think?
Well, I think over the years, it just never had the previous ownership wasn't in development mode. This group came together to develop and redevelop.
Modernize it, make it appealing to people to stay.
Yes.
I get you.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you do, right?
Yes.
All the way around. So we can't have a conversation about real estate without talking about the positive and negative impacts of Micron coming. What do you think now that things have unpacked a little more?
I love the concept. I love the idea. I'm a realist. Mm-hmm. I think I was very, very excited, maybe too exuberant at the announcement. I think right now it's really a sit and wait, be realistic, and your property value did not just double and triple just because
right. Just because of the mention of it.
Yeah. We've got a couple years till that starts to happen and proves that it's going to happen. Remember, phase 1 is just phase 1. It doesn't mean, maybe phase 1's 2,000 people or 1,000 people or, 3,000 people.
Will it just impact the Cicero area, or will it impact all of Syracuse, in your opinion?
The first phase, I think, will be primarily the northern burbs, but, it'll impact downtown because you'll have younger people that like the urban setting, the urban nightlife.
Right. And briefly, I know we were talking earlier this week about property management, which I know you do with commercial properties.
Yes.
So, and that means everything from snow to grass, or is that deeper than that?
It's finances, it's income related, it's making sure your property's performing properly.
Okay. So the Scripa, it's actually ScripaGroup.com.
Yes.
And you're the Scripa of the group, and I know you have a team over there.
There's a few of us.
I know there are. So questions at 452-1200.
Yes.
452-1200. ScripaGroup.com, Joe Scripa.
Thanks, Joe. Have a great rest of the day, okay? All right, coming up next, we're going to talk with Nicole McQuaid. She's the HR manager at Clinton Stitch, the Pepsi place, right here on 570 WSYR and 106.9 FM.